Archer and Mage. These are two of the most powerful classes in dungeons today. Archer is known for its crazy DPS, and Mage is known for its insane clearing power. Now, I have gotten dozens of requests to compare both classes head on. In this video, I will be comparing endgame Mage and endgame Archer. Let's get started. Alright, so here is a breakdown of this video. First, I will be going over mage damage right click and left click at the beginning of the dungeon. After this, I will be going over archer damage at the beginning with a front bone and with a front bone and a sword swap. After this, I'm going to be showing some general curing gameplay and some damage against mini bosses for both classes. And then finally, I'm going to be heading into the floor 6 boss fight to show you guys how both classes perform. The reason I'm not showing floor 7 in the video is because floor 7 mobs don't actually display how much damage you do to them, and floor 6 is way easier to record. So without further ado, here is the comparison. So for this video, for Mage, the setup that I'm going to be using is my 5-star Withered Hyperion, 2 Forts Ancient Storm Armor, a Perfect Chestplate, and Wither Goggles. This is a much more toned down setup from my current setup, which is 3 Forts Storm Armor, a Smite 7 Hyperion, and Wither Goggles. The Archer gameplay is all from my friend, the Bad One. The Bad One has 4 Overload 5 Soul Eater 5 Boomerangs, a Withered Giant Sword, a Death Bow, and 3 Forts Necron Armor, and a Tarantula Helmet. So those are the setups, and this is the damage that we're going to do in the beginning as a mage. So right at the start here to these spiders, I'm doing about 2.4 million damage, and this is without the smite ability. And as you can see, I'm just one-shotting all of them, and it is extremely just ripping through. The Frozen Adventure, as you can see, I kill it very, very quickly, and left-click Mage, as you can see, I do 6.1 million to a fell. You can see that wasn't a crit, but still I did 600k non-crit. And to a Withermancer, as you can see, that's 6.9 million damage. And at this point, I'm doing about 3 million damage. As you can see here, I'm doing about 3.5 to 3.9 million with Hyperion, and that's 6.9 million damage to a skeleton. So damage is pretty good. As you can see, that's 4.8 million damage to just some mobs with no defense, and to a Fells, it was 2.4 million damage. Alright, for Archer, right at the start here, as you can see, the Bad One's doing 42 million damage. Look at that. He is doing absolutely crazy damage with the Bone Meringues. And as you can see, the clearing speed is decent. He's just hitting things like a Berserker would. And he's still one-tapping everything. As you can see, he can do up to 4 million damage with the Flower of Truth. Now here against the more rooms, as you can see, his boomerangs are doing about 11 million damage, and they instantly just take care of everything. And continuing on to this room, the boomerangs are doing about 14 million damage. And he just gets rid of the zombie commander real quick. And now, as you can see, there's more mobs. As you can see, he's doing about 12 million damage just with the boomerangs. And keep in mind that the Bad One is about combat 49. Now, to Blood Room, he freezes them, and all of them instantly die. With the Giant Sword Swap, he can do 40 million damage. And here against the Laser Giant, he just basically instantly kills it. As you can see here, he's shooting the Bone Meringues, and it dies very, very, very fast. Alright, now time for some mini-bosses. This is a Yellow Room Lost Adventure on floor 7. As you can see, I'm doing about 300,000 damage, and it really starts to do a lot of damage to me. So I heal up real quick, life steal off of it, and then go right back. Unfortunately, heals up once because I kind of failed the healing, but still, I kill it really, really fast, and I'm doing about 300,000 damage. The Shadow Assassin, as you can see, I just instantly kill it, doing over 500,000 damage. Here's another one, and as you can see, I kill it in about 1 second. Now this is Archer. This is Archer against King Midas on floor 7. As you can see, even with all that defense, the Bad One is doing over 200,000 damage. And then, as you can see, he just does almost 3 million damage. Here's a Frozen Adventure, and it does not even have a chance to survive. It just instantly dies. Alright, now time for the boss fight. Now here, I'm going to be killing the golems. I'm going to go up here, and I'm doing about 3 million damage to the golems. As you can see, it's 3 million left-click mage. I'm killing them pretty fast. Terracotta, as you can see, I can tank them out pretty well, and I'm doing about 400k to Terracotta, which is pretty good. Now, to the Giants, I've slowed this footage down, and I'm doing about 600,000 damage to the Giants. So, to a Golem, as you can see, the bad one's doing about 17 million damage and instantly kills it. Now, as you can see with the Giant Sword Swap, he's going to do 13 million damage. Terracotta as an archer, as you can see the bad one's doing about 8 million damage and absolutely shredding the Terracotta. And now to the Giants. He's doing over 4 million damage and just destroys all the Giants. As you can see, he's just doing 5 million per bone and they just instantly die with all these bone meringues. As you can see, that's like almost 4 million damage. And here to Satan, he is going to proceed to one-shot the boss. As you can see, completely just one-shots it, which is just crazy. So, as you guys saw there by all that footage, Mage and Archer are both very powerful classes. Now I'm going to give my final verdict about this comparison. Which one is actually better? Now, personally, I feel that Mage is a little bit better than Archer for these reasons. First of all, Mage is a way better all-around class. As you can see, I was still doing almost a million damage to all the mobs, and my clearing power in the dungeon is unparalleled by anything else in Skyblock. In addition to this, Mage has a very high upgrade path. You can add Chimera 5 to your Hyperion, and then the Hyperion will do 20 million damage, making it an absolutely overpowered weapon. However, Archer also could be the better out of the two. For Mage, you're going to be kind of useful for the entire dungeon. But for Archer, you're going to be kind of useless in the dungeon and overpowered in the boss fight. You have to decide whether you want to be very useful for a short amount of time or kind of useful overall, and then make your decision about whether you want to play Mage or Archer. Now, the setups listed in this video are both around the same price, and Archer should not be neglected as being expensive because Archer is also a very, very expensive class to play. So that is the comparison. Please comment below if this video helped in your decision to play Mage or Archer. I would recommend both classes, and that is the video. Now, I spent a lot of time working with the bad one on this video, so I'd really appreciate it if you dropped a sub. I'm trying to hit 4,000 subscribers in the next 3 months, and I'd really appreciate it a lot if you subscribed. That was the video, everyone, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye!